How you doing, everybody? I am Scott Jelinek with the Master Investor Academy, and I am sitting here today with Antonio Edwards.
What's up?
And we wanted to share something with you because we think it's real important, something new that I just learned. So I was like, oh, we have to do a video and let everyone else know about this. So a lot of you guys are doing ringless voicemail, RVMs, right? And there's been very little issues with it, and it works. He's been doing a lot of it, and it works, and it does well, and it's a very cheap form of marketing. But I've heard rumors of a downside with it. And then it just recently happened, so we wanted to share with you exactly what happened. So the downside, at least that I've heard of, not to mention, if you've done it, you get hundreds of calls, people that are pissed at you, take me off your list. That's just part of the business. We get the same thing with direct mail.
Yeah.
But the difference with this one is there are the mailings, people get mad, don't ever mail me again, but there is not a do not mail list. So they can't tell you you're harassing. They do tell you you're harassing, but there is no legal statute saying you can't mail somebody something. However, on the phone, there is a legal statute. There is a do not call list. And so there are certain people, which we're going to tell you about in a second, who are doing this as what they do. They're waiting for these calls and then sucker you in and suing you. So I first heard about this with someone in Florida who's in the same business, and he got sued and ended up settling for $10,000 because it was a major thing. And when you have assets, when you have nothing to lose. But once you have assets, you have everything to lose. And so he had a major lawsuit. He ended up settling it for $10,000. That was an isolated incident, the first one that I had heard of. And then just the other night, I was sitting there having drinks with Antonio, and he's telling me a whole story about something that happened here locally in my market. I'm in Hampton Roads in Virginia, and I said, we got to do a video on this and share it with everybody so they don't know. So, Antonio, tell them about yourself and exactly how this got started.
All right, so watching me, if you know who I am, Antonio Edwards. This is a freaking crazy story. I was telling Scott the other night. So pretty much, you all obviously know what ringless voicemail is. If you don't, it's basically just sending an automated voicemail to people's phones without their phone to ring. And this is one great way to generate leads and get deals. So out of many ways, but we obtained the list. We got the skip trace. We got the phone number to the list, and we sent the voicemail to people's phones. And what we do, like most investors, we do not scrub the do not call list, because the worst case scenario is you just get like a fuck off, or don't call me no more, just stop sending me
and
messages.
It's gray because you're not actually calling them. It's going right to voicemail. So it's a gray area.
Right. So this one particular guy, shout out to you, John Bryant. Shout out to you, buddy. He called us back, right? We sent them one voicemail. Right. He called us back, called my assistant Stacy back, and I'm glad we record all our calls. So I heard the voicemail, the recorded call after this case happened. But anyway, I'm listening to the call, and he's calling back. He gave us John Wilson, not John Bryant, right?
But we're not going to mention John Bryant's name because we don't want it in the video. So we're not going to mention John Bryant's name.
Just going to bleep it out?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, John.
Right. All right, so he said John Wilson. So he was getting like certain questions like, what's your company name? I have a property address, and he gave us the wrong address. Okay, so that didn't come up in our ringless, because the ringless voicemail you can pull up, you can see the address.
See exactly who's calling.
So it was like, my sister was like, well, the address is not coming up, but your name is coming up. So he's asking for my company name, he's asking for the company address, how long you've been in business. Already right there, that should have been a red flag.
But they might also be checking your credibility.
Yeah, but
how long you've been in business? Can you really close?
Yeah. Your website? Right. Are you part of the
Which a lot of those are credibility questions as well. They want to check you out.
It is. So my sister's giving all that information. So make a long story short, I get a court letter in the mail for $6,000, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, what?
Now, was it just a letter or service from the court?
It was service from the court.
Service from the court.
For I think like September 9th or September 12th or something, give or take, for $6,000. And I saw his name and I saw his phone number up there, and I just couldn't remember.
Who the hell is suing me?
Who is suing me for $6,000 in Virginia Beach District Court? So I happen to call the number, obviously, right? And he picks up the phone, and I was like, hello, this is Antonio Edwards. I speak to John. And he's like, this is me. And I was like, well, you're suing me for $6,000. I'm trying to see what's going on. He's like, well, he said, did you send me a solicited call, voicemail, or cold call? As soon as I already knew what time, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah. He's like, well, I'm surprised you don't know who I am, because I'm sniping all your investors down in the Virginia market. I've been doing this for 3 years. He didn't hold nothing back, because I've been doing this for 3 years.
Which is why we're doing this video, so you know his name as well. Not that we're going to tell you John Bryant's name, but you should.
Exactly. Yeah, we're keeping this on a hush, right?
Yeah.
But
he's proud of this. He's proud of what he's doing.
He's proud of this. He said, I've been doing this for 3 years. I found a way, and what you're doing is not right. He said, I'm suing you for damages. I said, what did I damage? Like, we're talking. You You sound like you're like in a perfectly good condition. He was like, well, you shouldn't sent me a voicemail. So make a long story short, he said, I want to send you an email. So he took my email down. He said, do not call me no more, because he's on the do not call list, but I called him, right? Because I saw it was on the court letter. He said, do not call me no more. So he sent me an email, so we would start sending emails. And now he's asking more questions, which I was like, he's trying to get a case together. So he's like, who is Alex? Which was the person on the voicemail. What's Stacy's last name? Okay. Who is the company of the ringless voicemail? I was like, so I'm like, you know what? He's trying to get too much information. Something didn't seem right. So I called an attorney that I knew in the area, and he was like, man, that shit sounds like a scam. But he said that's because he was like more like a divorce attorney, stuff like that. So he was like, I have a guy, attorney that is a good friend of mine. He's in Virginia Beach. I think he does similar cases like this. I don't know if he does this, but he done a specific case. So he gave me his number. I called him. His name was Attorney Luca. As soon as I gave him the name, he said, I know that guy. I could just tell in his voice, was on the phone. He said, I know that guy. He said, I've seen his cases before my cases. He said, this guy represents himself. He doesn't hold anything back. He said he tells the judge that he's making money from this. He found the loophole, and he's making about $50,000 to $60,000 a year just suing different people.
And one of the smart things he's doing is suing you for $6,000.
For $6,000.
If he sued you for $60,000, it would be cheaper for you to fight it and probably win.
Yes.
But for when it gets to $6,000, he's settling it. It's $6,000. You meet with an attorney. The attorney tells you how much it's going to be, and you're like, screw it. I might as well just pay him. I'm going to lose that much anyway on attorney's fees.
Yep. So he said he's seen about five or so of his cases over the years. All right. He knew exactly who he is. He said that this guy knows the judge. All the judges know him. And he said he's kind of hard to beat. It's a chess game. He said he's probably winning about 7 to 8 of his cases. He's been involved in over 50 of these same cases.
7 to 80%?
Yes, 70 to 80%.
Okay.
But each case he loses, he comes back stronger.
Because he knows why he lost.
He knows why he lost. All right. So he's like, okay, Tony, my fee is $1,500. All right. And I think John probably knew this because he's been involved. So my fee is $1,500. So just email the guy back and say $1,000 and just see what it says. So he emailed me back a couple of hours later. He said $2,000. You send me a check for $2,000, and I'll send you basically like a release, and that's that. So I sent him a check for $2,000 last week. I don't have to go to last week.
It's
I don't have to
dismissed,
go to court.
right?
And he probably knew that. So
of course he
does.
Like he's extortion. Yeah.
So it's like I just sent him like a free $2,000 for fucking damages. Like it's insane. So there you have it.
So that is why I wanted to do this video, because if you are doing the ringless voicemail, which by all means works, ringless voicemail does work, or even cold calling.
Yes.
Some people are just dialing for themselves.
Yes.
You need to scrub the do not call list. And I never scrubbed it either. I was always like, nah, why bother? I'm not even calling them. It's going right to their voicemail. But apparently, even though you may win if you fight it, it's going to cost you more to win.
Yes.
So these people found a way to suck money out of people for no particular reason. If they spent that energy on something good, they'd be so much more successful, but some people will never do that. They'd rather just find a way to cheat the system and screw the system.
Yeah, he's making $50,000 to $60,000 a year doing this. He found a loophole. And
So he got a $2,000 payout from you, but hopefully by doing this video, we can save someone else from those similar paydays, which is why we're doing this right now. Anything else to share before we let him go?
Also text blast. A lot of the new marketing wave right now. Everybody's sending text.
That's covered by do not call also?
It's still in the do not call.
It's gray area.
Yeah, it's a
nobody
gray
knows.
area. So just be careful with this stuff, and just the most safest thing is scrub your list on the do not call list. I mean, you might have a list of 5,000. After you scrub it, it may go down to 2,000, but hey, you're safe.
That's all we have for you guys. Be safe out there. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next video.